Sorry, मैं देरी करता नहीं हूँ, बस देरी हो जाती है. So today I'm gonna talk about me, and the most amazing thing about me, it's called terrible decisions that I make, because that's something an ongoing process. So I'll try to keep it as brief as possible because it's a very long talk. I could take a lifetime about it. So me, a terrible decision maker. So everyone who graduated after 12th, we face this question that what are you gonna do in your career now? So unlike in films, I had more than just two options. Like not just engineering and medical, I had other options like CA, like architect, hotel management. But I gave it a skip because two reasons. One, I can't study so much. Two, as I just said, terrible decision maker. So I wanted to be an actor, and I told this to my mom, and she was like, you know, your dad's not going to accept this fact because my dad can't see me struggling. So she said, make a plan B. I said, yeah, I'll do writing. I'll be a writer because लिख तो कोई भी सकता है. So my mom says, okay, fine, let's figure out a course for this. And we figure out a course that's called BMM, where I could balance both of the two things. It stands for Bachelor's in Mass Media. But as the years progressed, for my parents it meant bachelors that made us go mad. Because I had to balance two things there, acting and writing. And by 3 years that it ended, I had done much more than just that. I had done 5 internships. I had become a script writer for all the college plays. I had directed them. I had acted in them. For all the college festivals of BMM, I had won awards for radio jockey. Even as an actor, I had made short films and everything. And I was like, you know what? I've accomplished a lot. 3 years in, my parents asked me, what next? I was like, हाँ ये सवाल तो मैं figure out करना ही भूल गया. This let's work on. So I try to solve that one, and as soon as my college ends, I start finding a job. I get a job that offers me 20,000 rupees. First job, 20,000 rupees. That's a very big thing for me. So I'm like, you know, mom, I figured that question. 20,000 rupees. And everything's just going fine. And suddenly, one fine day, I get a call from college, and they tell me that, you know, Yahya, तुम college आ सकते हो क्या? Youth fest होने वाला है. So can you just direct that for us? And this is what happens about me and theatre. I'm very impulsive. So the first reaction, हाँ ठीक है, sure, done. Without even thinking how I'm gonna figure out my work and this whole new project. So the next day I go, I meet teachers, and I tell them that, you know, I'm gonna charge. They're like, sure beta, you deserve it, sure. Amount hasn't been disclosed, it's just sure. I'm like, fine. So I script the whole play, and I call a friend up. He's a mentor, and he's also a very good friend. So I tell him, you know what, just help me out with this project because I have to balance work also. So he's like, sure. So he joins me, and he starts directing the play. But I feel I'm missing out a lot now because theatre is what I want to do in life, and I have scripted the play. I also want to be part of it. So in office I tell them, you know what, is it possible that I get 2 weeks off? They say no. So this is when negotiations start. I'm like, sir, 2 हफ्ता छुट्टी दे दो, मैं घर से काम करेगा. They are still saying no. And I tried really hard, after which they said everything's no. So there's a philosophy that I believe in, that life can take anything away from you. Your friends, your family, probably even parts of you. But what it can't take away from you are your dreams and the passion you have for them. So if even life can't stand between you and your dreams, you cannot allow a person to. So I go back to my desk, I type a mail. Dear sir, it was great working with you, but I would like to resign now. Send. I go back home, I tell my parents the whole thing, and they have just one thing to say. How stupid can you be? And a lot more, of course. But of course it did affect me, but it really did not matter because the whole point was I wanted to do theatre. This is my opportunity. So all I have planned out is that tomorrow rehearsal start, I'm gonna take this exercise, I'm gonna make these people do this, and then I'm gonna direct this scene, I'm gonna make it happen. 3 days it happens like I have thought, and 4th day something else happens. So I get into an argument with one of the professors because he scolded one of my actors, and I get really personal about my actors. Only I can scold them, of course. So we both have an argument, and I just forget this one part, that the professor has one special power. It's called cancelling the play, which he of course used. So 4 days later, the play got cancelled, and I really was in a trauma because I left my job for this. Remember, 20,000 rupees for this, for a sure. So I'm back at home. My parents of course tell me, see, we told you are stupid. I'm like in agreement this time. And with passing time, a lot more things started happening. The people who I was completely dependent on at that point of time suddenly just started leaving. Not because I left my job, because of some other reasons. And everything was happening so much together. In 1 week, I just counted down my problems, and these were the problems. I was jobless. I couldn't do the play that I left my job for. People I really needed in my life had left. Middle class families go through financial problems. We were at the core of it. And I started self-doubting myself a lot. So for the next 3 weeks straight, I did nothing. Nothing at all. People would just call me up and they would ask me, are you fine? I would say, yes, I'm fine. And then they would say, you know what? You did a terrible mistake by leaving the job. And I said, yeah, tell me more about it. 3 weeks of nothing. All I would do is sit in front of the television watching a channel I did not even know existed before. The shows kept changing and changing and changing, and I had no clue what I was watching. I'll sleep around 2 in the night, wake up 5 in the morning with a panic attack with what I'm doing with my life. I need to get something right here. I would think that tomorrow I'll meet some friends, I'll meet some strangers, I need to figure out, I need to win this out. But as soon as the morning happened and I thought I need to go out, I had this question. If I go meet my friends, they're gonna show me sympathy, they're gonna tell me about how stupid I was about to leave my job. If I meet strangers, they'll ask me, what are you doing in life? And I'll have to say, nothing. One fine morning then I just woke up and I was like, I'm done with doing nothing. So I went up to the mirror and I saw my reflection, just thinking that it was an other man. And I told him, you know what? You are a stupid decision maker, but you are by choice and you should be proud about it. And no matter how stupid this line seems like right now, this is where my uphill started from the downhill. The next 1 week, I applied for 3 jobs, got a call from 2, cracked them, negotiated 1, and I was in a better job. Things had started settling here. But remember, there were much more things that needed to be settled here. So I started writing poetry. I started working on text. And I got to know about this place called the Tuning Folk then. Now it's called the Habitat. They would organize open mics for poetry, and I would just go there to vent out my feelings. People would say that, you know, such a cute boy, he's trying to vent out his emotions, oh lover boy. But all I was trying was to vent out my pain there. And this kept happening and happening while I'm enjoying my job also, apparently. And everything just seemed fine when suddenly after 6 months, I get into a creative argument with my boss. Now I've realized this one thing. Me and arguments don't go well. It's like I'm always at the losing end even if I'm right. So I tell the boss, you know what, I do not like your idea. She tells, I don't like your idea. I'm like, fine, how do we figure this out? I tell her to send both the ideas to the client and she won't, because she feared I might be the better one. So The next day she calls me in her office and she's like, you talk very disrespectfully to me. I do not like the way you're working. So I want you to leave your job. I'm like, you stole my line. I want to leave your job. So she tells me, it was the end of the month. And I ask her, okay, I need my salary. And she tells me, if you want your salary, you have to serve the notice period. So I'm like, this is a big question. I go back home, I tell my parents, and they are like, you should serve the notice period. I call up my friends, they are like, you should serve the notice period. I'm like, yeah, you guys are right. Money is important. So the next day I go to office and I'm like, I don't want to serve the notice period. Keep the money. And I just leave. And my parents, of course, you know what they said. Yeah, stupid decision maker. So I'm chilling at home now. It's not a sad scene. I'm chilling at home. And within a week, I get a call from Radio Mirchi saying, can you join our company from the next week? I'm like, of course I can. So I joined Radio Mirchi, and while this is happening on this end, on the other hand, pages like Anir's Poetry and Spill Poetry had come up, and they approached me saying that, we would like to record a few pieces with you. And I said, sure, let's do this. So I recorded a piece called Cycle with Anir's Poetry and a piece called Shayad Wo Pyar Nahi Hai with Spill Poetry. And Spill Poetry did not want to release Shayad Wo Pyar Nahi Hai first. They wanted to do a piece called Sheher. So when they told me about this, I actually underperformed Sheher. Because I wanted Shayad Wo Pyar Nahi Hai to be the first piece out. Because all people spoke about on social media, even through poetry then, was about social issues, which is not wrong. It's just that I didn't want to be part of one. So I spoke about my experiences and love stories and everything. And well, that's kind of good, right? And all I have to say now is that, after making such terrible decisions, people come up to me and they say, you know what? You are lucky even after making such stupid decisions. And I say, yes, I might have been lucky. But you know what? If I didn't make those decisions, luck wouldn't have got the chance to play its card. So all I have to tell you guys is that if you believe in something, go do it. Because you know what people call stupid decisions today, they might just call bravery tomorrow. So you might as well do what you want to. See, everyone's a spectator to your story. And you do not edit your story according to what the audience wants. You do it according to what you want. So write your stories according to your wishes. Do everything that you think is right for you. Maybe it's wrong for the world, but it will turn out right for you. Maybe it might not, but might as well do it. And before I end my talk, there is one thing that I need to say. It's a thanks speech. It's basically, I may have made stupid decisions and I may stand strong here. But there are a lot of people who stand behind me to keep me strong. So they need to know that they are extremely important to me. Starting from my parents, because everyone just knew I made stupid decisions. These people had to go through the drawbacks of it too. And they've been supporting me all the time. So I need to really thank my parents. I think there is someone up there who listens to me. So I need to thank him. I need to thank my group of 3 musketeers, Mufaddal and Muhammad. I need to thank my college group, Shweta, Sneha, Deep, Sachin, Nivya, Aarti, my mentors and my brothers, Kaustubh, Anmol, Darshan, and last but not the least, the 2 women who helped me discover me, Shivani and Jidnya. I think without them, I couldn't be so strong. I think without them, I wouldn't have reached here. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.